from a place like Buffalo, when you were watching that Duke Stephen F. Austin game, was there any kind of emotions about that, seeing a smaller school going into a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, I played at Duke when I was at Buffalo. We didn't come out nearly as well as Stephen F. Austin did. It's a hard place to play. I mean, how many years has it been since a non-conference team's won at Cameron? That was close to 20, right?
Yeah, the last time a non-conference unranked team was '83. So.
Yeah, and a non-conference team period, I thought it had been a while. So,
yeah.
You have to be 10 to 15 points better than them. I felt like going in, we were not the year that we went down there and played at Duke when I was at Buffalo. So, yeah, and I know Kyle well. I think he's a good coach. Gets his kids to play really hard, and they went in and didn't back down. I mean, Duke had a lead on them out of the gate. They just hung in there. So, they're a good team. I mean. The one game they lost, Rutgers, I thought they played hard, played well in that. They just didn't give as many breaks they did against Duke. But we're gonna have our hands full on Friday. We're gonna have to take care of the ball. They're number one in the country in turnover rate on defense, and our analytics guys told us if they continue at the rate they are, this will be the highest turnover rate defensively in the last 18 years. For all of Division I basketball. So they're turning people over better than anybody's turned people over in over 18 years. They're number one in the country in foul rate or free throw rate on defense. So they put teams to the free throw line more than anybody, and they turn people over more than anybody. So, you look at the Duke game, we know we're going to get fouled. I mean, I don't even think they care about fouling people. They just want to play hard. And the referees a lot of times quit calling fouls after you keep fouling the whole game. So, hopefully we can continue to get fouls the whole game, but whether they do or not, we're gonna have to step up the line, and make free throws. Duke goes 26 of 40 at the line. If Duke goes 30 of 40 at the line, they win the game. So we're gonna have to take care of the ball, make some free throws, finish through some contact on offense. Defensively, they're best in transition off a turnover, so our offense will help our defense by not turning the ball over. We got to get back in transition. They only attempted 10 threes out of their 74 field goal attempts against Duke. So I think they scored 64 points in the paint against Duke. If I remember right, I might not be 100% accurate on that, but I know they shot 64 twos and 10 threes. So it's going to be one of those games you got to keep the ball at paint, and then you got to rebound the ball. They do a really good job on the glass. So, they're good. Does it remind me of my Buffalo teams in a sense that our last 2 years there, we felt like we could go into high major places and compete and be in games. They play a completely different style. They play fast. We just defensively they're much different than anything. I mean they play a lot different than any other Division I teams really. So it's just a completely different scout than anything else you're used to the rest of the year.
Are the turnovers just an execution thing, or are there steps you can take to kind of make that easier on the team as it transitions into this stuff?
I mean, it's a little both. I mean, our guys got to get they got to get more comfortable playing the way we play with the spacing and getting aggressive, making plays. B, there is some execution stuff involved with they got to execute, what we want them to do, and then some of it's just making reads. Like, you got to get some of it's being tough too. I mean, you're going to get bumped. You can't handle the ball when you get bumped. Tomorrow, you're going to get bumped. You're going to get fouled. They're not going to call them all. You're going to have to save a turnover. Like, they may bump you, deflect the ball. You're going to have to go get the ball and save a turnover. You watch the Rutgers game, the only one they lost. I thought Rutgers out of the gate was a little bit tougher. Save some turnovers, hit some shots off it. We're going to have to do the same thing if we want to get a win.
I think I saw 6 defenders in the court. Is that something you guys do?
You know what?
See that wrong?
No, you saw it right. Some of this I go back to my high school days. Like, you go back to Detroit and teams are running, trapping, flying all over the court, just playing really hard. So, we used to go 5-on-6. I used to go 5-on-7 back when I was a high school coach to try to emulate some of the presses, the pressure, all that. So, no, we did a little 5-on-6 the last couple of days just to try to emulate guys flying all over the floor. And because if you don't play that way, it's really hard to emulate it 5-on-5 in practice. They're just not used to flying and passing lanes and running all over the court. So you put a 6 guy out there and let him just be free safety running wherever, you can kind of emulate it a little bit more.
What do you feel like this team kind of gained and
Each game was something different. I thought the North Carolina game, if you look at our first shot defense, we were pretty good. Like, I think Kyra can get some confidence knowing he can guard some high-level guards. I thought he did a really good job on Cole. It's just our second chance points we gave up were absurd. I mean, you get out-rebounded, you're almost doubled up on the glass in a high major against a high major. It's bad. Like 60 to 31 is as bad as I've ever seen. Like, I had to go back to my high school coaching days when I rolled out. We have 5 or 6 Division I guys on a team, and we're playing a team with a bunch of guys that are not going to play in college. You can all rebound them by 30. That shouldn't happen in two high major teams playing each other. So, the Carolina game, our rebounding, we got to get better. So then we go into Iowa State, and our thing was like, let's play defense like we did, clean up the rebounding. Well, we didn't play defense like we did. So there's got to be consistency on the defensive end on a game-to-game basis. Thought we did put it together against Southern Miss, to be honest with you. So I think and I told them this will be a character game. Like, you could pack it in. We started 0-2, or you could show some character, come out. I think our starts to the games were good. Even the Iowa State game, we started, had great intentions, played great out of the gate. We just got to maintain it for 40, and you got to maintain it every game. So I thought the Southern Miss game was a lot better. And to even have a guy like John Petty, who was really banged up, and he had played great the first 2 games, especially on the offensive end. For him to come out and play as hard as he did, even though he didn't score it as well, I thought that spoke to his character and how far he's come and what he's trying to give us. And we had different guys come up, but we got to rebound. We got to play hard on the defensive end and in every game, every possession basis. If we do that, I think we can compete with teams. And I told our guys, like, everybody across the country is trying to figure themselves out. I mean, you think Virginia feels happy about themselves today? Purdue's got 3 losses already. So if Purdue hangs their head after they lose 3 games, well, they didn't. Obviously, they kept getting better and better, and they come in and play well. Well, North Carolina didn't look that great last night. Looked a lot better against us. So there's teams all over the country that are losing, learning from it. Who can learn the most from your losses and continue to get better? Those are the teams that are going to be playing well come conference play, and that's what we need to be doing.
What's Beetle got, Mike? He's shot. Where is he?
So his Beatles wrist hand injury, and he's got 2 different ones in the same left hand, left wrist, still bothering him. We've tried to rest him all week to get it to heal. He took a shot, kind of a numbing agent, to help him in the 3 games down there in the Bahamas. Obviously, it worked well because we needed him to make shots like he did against Southern Miss. Hopefully, be able to do the same thing. He'll be able to play tomorrow. So he's basically a game-to-game decision until we can get that wrist and hand healed up. But you see his effort he gives. So even when he's not making shots, he still gives you a defensive effort. But it was great to see him make some shots against Southern Miss.
What about Reese? He didn't look like he was doing much out there.
No, Reese, we've held him out all week too. He hurt himself in the Iowa State game. Kind of fought through it, played the rest of that game, played the Southern Miss game. So we've sat him all week. He's got a foot injury that, we got all the testing done. He's just basically, it's going to take some time to heal. So we've kept him in a boot. Today we did some skill work, shooting with him. Tomorrow he's going to go through walkthrough, see if he can go. I think he's a pretty tough kid. My guess would be he would give it a go, and we'll just have to see how healthy he is during the game. That's a big problem we have right now. I mean, we've lost some games we wish we could have won. Obviously the Penn game with being a 1-point game, but Rhode Island, we got to get healthy. Like, if we're healthy, and I'm not talking about the 2 guys that are out for the year, and Rojas and Chawan. Obviously we had them that helped tremendously, but if we had a healthy Reese, a healthy Beetle, a healthy Herb. I mean, Herb's elbow injury, a lot of other sports, he's probably still not even playing, or if he's not as tough as he is. So if we can get healthy and still win some games here in December and get on a roll going into SEC play, we'll be all right. But right now we're pretty banged up still.
What is it about your scheme that allows the guards or makes it easier for the guards to have more success rebounding and doing other things other than maybe just scoring?
Yeah, I think on the defensive end, why is Kyra rebounding the ball more? Why is Petty rebounding the ball more? Petty had 8 offensive rebounds. I think offensively, we just tell him to go. So it's just part of the whole scheme. Like, as fast as you play, teams are not willing to get in a running game with you most of the time. North Carolina was the first game we played that they actually went hard to the offensive boards because they run too. So North Carolina doesn't mind getting a running game with you. So most of the teams don't want to run with you. So they just, I mean, we used to have teams at Buffalo that would send 5 guys back on defense or 4 guys back on defense. So then if they're not going to rebound like that, it makes it easier for guards going and get defensive rebounds. But even on our offensive end, like we can crash 4 guys because they don't want to get out and run. So we just tell our guys to go. Now, we got to get either 1 or 2 back depending on who we play and who the personnel is. But we've enabled Petty to just go to the old boards. We also enabled Kyra, the more you rebound, the quicker we can get out in transition. So just playing fast helps with some of the rebounding. Now, with teams that don't mind playing fast with us and are going to send a bunch of guys to the old boards, we got to do a better job keeping them off, which is one of the things we've learned. But I think some of it is just, letting, JP, every time you go to the old boards, you're going to get second chance points. Like, it just creates more opportunities for the team, for yourself. Kyra, every time you get a defensive rebound, we're out in transition that much faster. We don't have to get an outlet pass. You can just go. So a little bit of it's just convincing them to do it, which we still got to do a better job convincing everybody to defensive rebound. But yeah, our guards have rebounded the ball fairly well for us.
Did you see?
Last
Yeah,
question.
did you see Draymond Green's tweet about you?
I did, and it was very nice of him. Came at a timely time after we lost 2 in a row. Was that during the Iowa State game?
Yeah, it was on Thursday.
Yeah, it was very nice of him. I have not talked to Draymond for a long time. I think I saw him after 1 NBA game. So we played against him in high school. If you go back to our Romulus teams, played his teams up in the semifinals. We went to the Final Four, I think. Shoot, I lost track now. I think I was there 11 years. I think we went 6 times. You'd have to fact check me on that to
Okay.
make sure. But one of the times, or maybe 2 of the times we went to the Final Four, we ended up playing Saginaw, and he played. So I coached against him numerous times in high school. I was up at Michigan State all the time as a high school coach. Got to know him there a little bit. Really good guy. Kind of haven't seen him I think I saw him after 1 NBA game where I was back kind of with some coaches I knew, and he was back there and ran into each other, said what's up. I don't have his number. It was nice of him to do it. Hopefully he's right. I respect his game. It's nice he respected me as a coach for my times in Michigan. But yeah, I meant to reach out, so I'll still got to get his number, find a way to reach out, tell him thanks. But it was awful nice of him.
All right, thank you, guys.